Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into this week's video on the Spark Your Speaking channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things you can do to help decrease anxiety ahead of your presentation. My name is Kathy Lee and I am your public speaking coach. So you've written and built your presentation and you've rehearsed it over and over and over again. If you're at this stage, that's great. This is going to set you up for success. But despite all the preparation, there might still be some anxiety and nervousness as you get closer to the day of your presentation, and that's okay and completely normal. However, there are a few things you can do to help decrease that anxiety the day of your presentation. The things I list you can also try to do the day before your presentation if there is an opportunity to do so. The first one is test the technology before your presentation. There is nothing worse than preparing and planning for your presentation only to find out that minutes before you're supposed to talk, the technology doesn't work. Of course, this only applies to people who are going to be using visual cues like PowerPoint or something like that. Especially if this is your first presentation, failed technology can be enough to rattle you. So try to avoid this scenario as best as you can by finding ways to test the technology first. Sometimes speakers will get a chance to go to the room they will be presenting in the day before. If that's the case, take that opportunity. If this is a company that you work at and you're familiar with the technology, I'd still test it out before your presentation just to make sure you know how to use it and that it works. Just doing this step will help lower your anxiety. The second tip is to arrive early before you're scheduled to present. My rule of thumb is 20 to 30 minutes before any kind of presentation. It doesn't matter if it's online or in person. Give yourself plenty of time to decompress and focus before you get up there for your presentation. If you are anxious about presenting in the first place, arriving early is going to help you manage that anxiety. If you run late, that's only going to make it worse. Plus, if you arrive early, it gives you a buffer in the event something last minute goes sideways and you have to figure out a plan B. It's better to pivot with your original plan with 20 to 30 minutes to spare than to have to figure all that out with only minutes left. The third tip is to avoid caffeine and alcohol leading up to your presentation. My go-to drink on the day of any presentation is water or tea. That's it. Alcohol is completely unprofessional, unless of course, I don't know, you're at a wedding or something like that, right? But if this is in a professional environment, alcohol is unprofessional and it can inhibit your focus. So save that for the cocktail and mingling session if there is one afterwards. Now, if you feel like you need coffee to get going and you know your body and you know your limits, then feel free to have a cup. But if you know that it's going to make you shaky and jittery, then avoid it. The great thing about drinking water is that it will leave you hydrated. But also if you drink warm water with lemon or tea with lemon, this is a great way to warm up your vocal cords and get your voice, mouth, throat ready for your presentation. The next tip is meet your audience members before your presentation. I know this isn't always possible, but if it is, I take advantage of this opportunity. I know it might seem intimidating to meet audience members before a speech, but I've found the opposite to be quite true. It gives you a chance to connect with them, and you'll find that being able to chit chat with some audience members ahead of time might calm you down. You'll be able to cast your fears aside because you'll realize that they are kind and they're supportive and they're there to hear you speak, right? Now, these reminders are great ways to get you to settle those nerves. And my final tip to help you decrease anxiety before your presentation is deploy relaxation exercises. How you relax will come down to your own preference, and there is really no right or wrong with this. My main suggestion to you is to remember to breathe. A simple breathing exercise could be sitting or standing somewhere quiet. Close your eyes and breathe in deeply through your nose for 5 seconds. And then out through your nose for 5 seconds. Make sure to fill your belly completely on the inhale and empty it on the exhale. However, if you find listening to your favorite music or relaxing music works to help lower your anxiety, then by all means go ahead and do that. Some people like to visualize themselves doing their speech, as that helps them to focus. So you can even visualize yourself in front of your audience as well, doing your speech or going through the motions if that helps. Maybe you have been practicing meditation. If that's the case, I'd meditate for a bit before your presentation. Do whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever helps you relax. That is the most important part. I'm listing all these ideas for you. You can utilize all of them or none of them. The important thing is that you do what works for you. That's all for today, everyone. Just to recap, 5 things you can do to help decrease anxiety ahead of your presentation are: test the technology out, arrive early before you're scheduled to present, avoid caffeine and alcohol, meet your audience members, and deploy relaxation exercises. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, remember to hit the like button below and share it, but also subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to get free weekly public speaking and training videos. If you have any questions or topic ideas, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you would like to learn more about the other public speaking programs that I have to offer, make sure to check out my website, sparkyourspeaking.com. See you next week.